Naughty Dog has given us some of the best games of all time, from The Last of Us to The Last of Us Remastered, and all the way to The Last of Us Part 1. But now, it's time for a groundbreaking new game, The Last of Us Part 2, Remastered. Today, I'm here to give you my thoughts on the remaster and whether it's worth the upgrade. Huge thank you to PlayStation for sending me this early review code, which I was super excited to receive. To be transparent, yes, they gave me this code for free, but they're not paying for this review, and they won't see this video until it's live on YouTube. You probably have a lot of questions, like how does the upgrade work? Is it fun? Can you play as Tails from Sonic Adventure 2? Well, no, not yet at least. Also, if you haven't played the main story, spoiler warning, I might drop some during this video. I'm not going to review the story of The Last of Us Part 2, since my answer is yes, the game is worth playing, but I'm going to highlight the new mode, No Return, and point out some new features. I should also point out that The Last of Us Part 2 is probably my favorite video game since Cory in the House on DS, so I'll try to be as fair as possible in this review, but obviously, I'm a little biased. The first thing I'll point out is the cost. The upgrade is $10 for owners of The Last of Us Part 2 on PS4, but $50 if you don't yet own the game. If you own the disc copy, you need to insert the disc in order to play it, so don't sell that, but if you own it digitally, you should be able to just buy and download the $10 upgrade. Though some games offer a free PS5 upgrade, this is pretty standard, and other games such as Ghost of Tsushima and Death Stranding also have $10 PS5 upgrades. For a remaster, you would expect there to be improved graphics and textures, which is definitely true compared to the game on PS4. However, it is worth noting that the game looks very similar on PS5, whether you have the remaster or the regular game. Full disclosure, I usually play performance mode at 1440p, so even though the remaster now natively can output 1440p or 4K, and you may notice a change at 4K, I didn't notice a huge difference in performance mode at 1440p. This isn't a bad thing since it already looked great prior to the remaster, but if you're paying the $10 because you care about graphics, you'll probably be let down. The performance is similar on the remaster and the normal game during normal gameplay, but one of the biggest upgrades I noticed is the load time. Whether you played the original game on PS4 or on PS5, the load times were extremely long if you ever loaded up an encounter or a chapter. The game was never optimized to take advantage of the PS5's SSD until now. I did some tests loading up an encounter, and the improved load times are significant. At most, it took 10 or 11 seconds to load up an encounter in the remaster, whereas even on a PS5, the original game took 40 to 50 seconds for the same encounters, and the PS4 took almost a minute and a half. An understated feature, but one that I'm thrilled to have as someone who frequently replays encounters. And before I get to No Return, I will point out a few other new features.
Let's get on with it.
First, photo mode has been slightly improved. Specifically, photo mode in The Last of Us Part 1 added more lighting options, which are present in the remaster. I love the improvements to photo mode, and I think we'll get even more great pictures from this. There are also new trophies in the game. Unfortunately, with my early copy, I can't view the trophies for the game, but it does register as a separate game from the PS4 version with its own trophies. You have the option to import a save, and it's fairly easy. After doing so, my game automatically unlocked a bunch of trophies, including a platinum. So if you want to unlock the trophies again, don't import a save, but if you do, hey, free platinum. And yes, No Return does have new trophies. There are also additions such as haptic feedback and adaptive triggers, which make the game feel more like a PS5 game. And yes, these can be gimmicky, but also cool at times, like when you upgrade a weapon at the workbench, you can sort of feel the different parts of the table being worked on with the controller's vibration. For speedrunners, there's a dedicated speedrun mode which tracks your time for each run and saves it for specific sections. Accessibility for the remaster is very similar to Part 2 on PS4, though there are a few additions like tinnitus sound, descriptive audio, and speech to vibrations, so it's cool to see that they've added on these features, and hopefully that allows more people to play the game. And finally, you can see me play as Joel. Kind of. Guitar Freeplay is another fun feature that the game added. You can choose from several different instruments, though I'm a little surprised they didn't include Joel's signature Taylor 314 CE or the Taylor GS Mini that were both sold as replica guitars back in 2020. Maybe a licensing issue, but still, wish they were here. You can play as Joel, Ellie, and even Gustavo Santaolalla, the composer of the score for the game. The mode is fun to mess around with, and I'm sure more talented people will have a field day with this. The lost levels are another addition to the remaster, which have been highlighted several times. There are 3 of them, and I won't spoil anything, but they give plenty of insight into the game's design with commentary. They're rather short at about 5 to 10 minutes each, so I wouldn't expect more than like 25 to 30 minutes of gameplay here, but I still enjoyed playing them and learning why they were cut. And now, the part you're probably most interested in for this remaster, No Return. And yeah, it's very fun. No Return is a roguelike mode where you can play as one of 10 characters from the game, all with their own unique playstyles and abilities. And let me know down below who you're most excited to play as. Each run consists of 6 rounds that are randomly generated, so each playthrough is different, though you can manually enter a seed if you want to replay the same one. Each encounter can vary in terms of enemy types, locations, and modes. You can get infected enemies or survivors from different factions such as the Wolves or the Rattlers. The locations are from different points throughout the story, and some are present in encounters, such as this one, which Naughty Dog is still trying to pass off as a restaurant, me when I've never been to a restaurant in my life, while others are completely new for combat but still taken from the story. There are 4 different modes that you can unlock as you progress. In Assault, you need to kill a certain number of enemies in 3 waves. In Hunted mode, enemies continuously spawn and you must survive until the timer runs out. Holdout mode involves protecting an ally from a certain number of spawning enemies. Capture involves unlocking a safe within the time limit or taking out all the enemies. And of course, the boss fight involves killing a boss, which can range from a bloater to a powerful Rattler captain to the Rat King. If you die at any point during a run or fail the objective in the case of holdout or capture, your run ends and you have to start over from the beginning. Between each round you go back to a safe house, which is the theater room for Ellie-aligned characters and the aquarium for Abby-aligned characters. Here you can upgrade your weapon, use supplements to unlock new abilities, and buy new supplies from the store. You also have some choice in what the next round will be, as there are branching paths you can take each time. So if you want an easier round or you want to face infected over survivors, you do have some choice. There are also mods that can appear in each round to either make the game harder but give you a better score multiplier, such as Thick Fog, or mods that make the game easier but decrease your score multiplier, like Melee sets enemies on fire. Choosing an easier or harder difficulty at the start of your run also affects your multiplier, so you could potentially get a higher score, but as a result, the game will be much harder. Your score matters because there are leaderboards and there is a daily challenge that everyone can only attempt once per day. Bragging rights are at stake here. Each round also features bonuses called Dead Drops, where you place supplies such as a health kit or Molotov into a slot, and as a reward, receive something like a new weapon after the current round. There are also Gambits, which are bonus challenges in each round, and they give you more supplies or currency to use at the store. This can be something like getting stealth kills or using different weapons. Finally, there are supply crates that spawn in throughout each round, which for a mode like Assault appears after each wave. No Return also contains challenges that allow you to progressively unlock things from new characters, to boss fights, to skins, among other things. Of course, a big selling point of this remaster is people felt robbed that they couldn't play as their favorite character, Mel.
Come on.
You begin with Abby and Ellie, but can unlock the next character on each side after playing a few rounds as the current character. So 2 rounds as Ellie unlocks Dina, 3 rounds as Dina unlocks Jesse, and so on. Of course, Joel is one of the last characters you can unlock, but it's worth trying out the different characters, as each start with different weapons, abilities, and they handle kind of differently. For example, Joel and Tommy can't dodge, but both are more durable against melee, and Tommy starts with a fully powered rifle, while Joel starts with a powerful revolver. The mode also breaks continuity as Joel is still alive, Yara has both arms, and Tommy is actually useful. Sorry Tommy for making you catch another stray. I would have loved to play as more characters like Owen and Maria, but you'll notice all the characters here appear in combat throughout the main story, so it kinda makes sense that they already have combat animations for them, and were probably easier to put in. There are also skins for every character, which you can unlock through completing challenges, or for Ellie and Abby, buying with credits. Also, worth noting for the No Return characters outside of Abby and Ellie, these skins are separate from the main story, so if you apply a skin to Jesse or Dina, you'll see it in No Return, but not in the main story. Okay, so overall, I do recommend this upgrade, but I'll give both sides here. Who doesn't need the upgrade? Well, if you only want to play the story once, and you don't care about skins or the new mode, then the base game is fine. I find the graphics and overall game performance to be kind of similar between the base game and the remaster on PS5, so if you just want the story, you can save $10, and if you change your mind, you can always upgrade later. Now, who should get the upgrade? If you're a fan of the game, No Return mode easily makes this worth it. Even if you don't love the story, getting to play as characters like Joel and Tommy, plus the fact this mode adds infinite replay value, is easily worth $10. The other bonuses like lost levels, speedrun mode, guitar free play, improved load times, and improved photo mode all make this an easy recommendation for me. If you don't own the game yet and you don't want to pay $50, you can also find a secondhand copy of the PS4 game for much cheaper. The game may be marked up a bit right now, but it's gone as low as $10 for a new copy in the past, so you can definitely find it for less money and then upgrade to the PS5 version after. I'm Epic Cakes Gaming. If you enjoy The Last of Us, be sure to subscribe and follow me on my other socials, as I do plenty of challenge runs for this series as well as games like GTA. If you have any more questions about the remaster, be sure to ask in the comments below and I'll try to answer. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.